Okay, get the list.
Okay,
here we go. And this is from the Federalist. November 22nd, the tri-state election hacking conspiracy theory bombshell report from New York Magazine talking about results in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania have been manipulated or hacked. The evidence was no evidence. It was retweeted 2,000 times. And the story was retweeted 4,000 times. New York Times opinion columnist Paul Krugman shared the story that was retweeted 1,600 more times. And eventually, Nate Silver came out and said, no, this is not true. And of course, there was no hacking. That was false. Let's see, the 27-cent foreclosure. You're asking questions.
Okay.
Let me answer. And by the way, and you say, does this matter? Yes, it mattered. I had 3 people come up to me in church saying, why aren't you talking about the hacking that went on in Michigan? These are educated people with advanced degrees. And I actually called Alex after I got home from church going, what happened? Is there hacking? Are we missing a story? And he looked it up, and yeah.
The rush to tweet.
By the way, the 27% foreclosure, that was false. Nancy Sinatra, we all heard that Nancy Sinatra complained that My Way was being used at the inauguration. False. The non-existent climate change website purge, false.
That's a big one.
The great MLK Jr. bus conspiracy, false. Betsy DeVos, grizzly fighter, they have that as false. It was twisted out of proper context. The resignations on January 26th at the State Department ended up being false. The photoshopped hands affair, the Observer wrote that they tweeted out a screenshot of Trump that in her eyes proved that Trump had photoshopped his hands bigger. It was shared 9,500 times as well. The 29, the Reuters account hoax, false. The White House SCOTUS Twitter mistake. Remember, this was just last week. Okay. The White House set up you asked, I'm going to tell you. The White House set up 2 Twitter accounts, remember, for the 2 justices. And guess what? Who was that that was CNN. It said that. It ended up being false. The big travel ban lie. A Fox affiliate out of Detroit, remember, reported that a local business owner flew over to Iraq to bring his mother back, couldn't get medical treatment. She died of an illness. Everybody ran with that. 123,000 shares on the Huffington Post, 9,000 shares on other media personalities. And I could go down their list. I don't want to embarrass them all. That ended up false. POTUS threatening to invade Mexico. That ended up being false. Easing of Russian sanctions. No, you asked.
No,
you asked. I'm going to answer.
I got it, but there are tens of millions of pieces of information that are accurate. Yes, there are going to be some inaccuracies. Versus a president that out and out lies.
It is the media's responsibility to do their job
and I think they 99.9% of the time get it right.
They hate the president. These are examples, and I will guarantee you, Mark Halperin, there is consternation right now in a lot of press shops because they have been rushing to try to get Trump and go, wow. This is not saying Trump's not making stuff up. This is not saying that we're not all disturbed by what everybody else is disturbed by. This is just to say they've got to do a better job. And by the way, you have media editors saying, we've got to do a better job.
It plays right into his hands. So the Clintons used to do this too. You find one mistake the press makes, and then you use the time to discredit the media. If we're going to do our job to hold them accountable, we've got to be more careful, and we can't be driven by reporters, Twitter about reporters' animus for the president.
Getting it out quick.
Protect the public interest, hold them accountable.
Well, look at
don't make it a personal fight.
Well, that's the important point. This small handful of stories as compared to the ones that are correct,
but they get out
allow Donald Trump to say, look, there goes the press again, and allows him to tweet things like, quote, yesterday, any negative polls are fake news. And people who follow Donald Trump, people who like Donald Trump, they go along with what he says because they can point to a handful of stories like that.